question for General Conway.
General Conway, you have said that your support of the Employee Free Choice Act is due to the fact that you think that if a majority of workers in a workplace want to organize, they should be able to sign cards to do that. I'm curious about another facet, though, of that same bill, which would force federal binding arbitration on businesses and unions, basically essentially a takeover of the contract process by the federal government. Do you agree with that facet of card check?
Well, Joe, thank you for the question. First of all, I've always said that it's a fundamental right of the American worker to sit down with his or her employer and to talk about the terms and conditions of their employment. And if 50% of people want to form a union, they ought to be able to form a union. And a situation where if a union is formed and you go on years and years and years and years and no contract is reached, there ought to be some sort of mediation process where they can sit down and hopefully arrive at a contract. But the larger issue here, Joe, is jobs. We need a jobs plan, and Rand Paul has no jobs plan. We have 10% unemployment in this state, and his jobs plan is to say that sometimes our workers are just going to have to take lower wages, and they need a little tough love. Well, that's no jobs plan. Again, I want folks to go to my website at jackconway.org, check out the hometown tax credit. It's not going to solve all of our problems, but according to Moody's, it would create about 11,000 jobs in the Commonwealth of Kentucky. A lot of people are afraid that the government's growing and jobs aren't being created. I'm a different type of Democrat. We need to provide incentives to the private sector to create the jobs of the future.
Rand Paul, 30 seconds.
Let me interpret for you. He is for forced unionization bill. The Employee Free Choice Act gets rid of the secret ballot. We'll have binding arbitration, which will supersede private contracts. Big mistake for Kentucky, will cause loss of jobs, not creation of jobs. The prevailing wage in Kentucky has lost jobs. It causes our schools to be more expensive. So be very clear what his position is. He is for the bill.
Joe Arnold.
And that's the follow-up. You said some sort of mediation. So the bill as written is this federally forced binding arbitration. Do you specifically support that?
What I would like to see is a mediation process after some period of time. If both sides can't agree, some sort of mediation process to ask them to sit down and arrive at a contract within a reasonable period of time.
Rand Paul.
My understanding is he will vote for the bill. I will vote against the bill. That makes it a little more simple, I think.
Okay, Joe Girth.